Hey there, I'm Michael Williams, your island chef. We're here at Morningstar Farm, better known as Little Qualicum Cheese Works. I'm gonna go find Raymond Gourlay right now, and he's gonna give us a first-hand tour of the entire operation. I can't wait. Raymond,
Michael,
how you doing?
Good to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having me here today.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to checking out, Morningstar Farm or Little Qualicum Cheese Works.
That's
Which
right.
is it?
Well, it was Morningstar Farm originally,
Yeah.
and we started the cheese works on another farm, and then in 2004 we moved here. It was already an established dairy farm that had just kind of been retired for a few years.
Okay.
And we had a small herd of cattle on a rented farm down the road.
Okay.
And essentially we blocked off the road one day when we moved.
Yeah.
And we had this like slow motion stampede where we walked.
Convoy of cows.
That's right. We
Yeah.
walked the whole herd down the dirt road
Yeah.
and made like the front page of the local paper and everything.
Nice.
And so we've been here ever since, milking cows and making cheese.
Yeah.
And
You guys are doing actually all kinds of things here, aren't you?
yeah,
We're
there's
gonna
quite a
focus
lot
on the
going
cheese
on
today, but it seems like you guys have quite the hub of activity.
Yeah, one of the things that makes our farm and our business distinct is that it's a dairy farm and cheese company that's open to the public.
Right.
So that was really part of our vision when we started this, was to be able to allow people to have a farm experience that's really authentic.
Yeah.
So they can come, this is a real dairy farm, they
Yeah.
can see the animals up close, how they live, what they eat, how milk is produced, how cheese is made,
Yeah.
and then taste and purchase the end product right here from the farm.
Cool.
So it never leaves, and it's a really unique experience to be able to offer that.
Yeah. So Raymond, when we talked on the phone, you said I might get to make some cheese today.
Exclusive access.
Nice, that's awesome. Before we get there though, I think we need some milk, don't we?
Yeah, that's where it starts.
Should we check out some cows?
Let's do it.
Okay.
So before taking a look at the cows,
Yeah.
we'll check out the museum.
The museum.
That's right.
In here?
So this is the old dairy parlor.
Okay.
We farmed with this for many years and just stopped using it 2 years ago.
Okay, really?
So
Yeah.
it looks a lot older than that, but we were using it really recently. Essentially, 4 cows come in. Yeah, that hooks up not to the cows, but it cleans the unit that hooks up to
okay.
the cows. But essentially, one person would be standing in this pit, cleaning off the cows, hooking up the suction cups to the udder,
Right.
and then the milk would go into those jars.
Right, okay.
And yeah, we milk the cows twice a day in here, about 5 a.m., 5 p.m.
Yeah.
Average production at that time around 30 liters a day.
Okay.
And it's a good system.
Yeah.
The disadvantage is that the cows only get milked twice a day.
Right.
And if the cows, like any animal that's nursing, they'd ideally get milked more than that.
Right. Several
That's right.
times, several
So
times,
we
yeah.
upgraded a couple years ago to a new barn, new system and everything.
We're gonna check that out?
We'll check it out.
Okay, but we're gonna go see the cows first?
Yeah, we'll say hi to the calves.
All right.
So this is the calf barn. This is where life starts for most of the animals.
Yeah.
And we have about 50 calves born a year. So these ones are about 2 months old. They're heifers.
They seem super friendly.
They're super friendly.
Yeah.
They love to be scratched.
Just like a doggy.
The heifers are all raised here on the farm. Then they will have a calf of their own at about age 2.
Yeah.
And the bull calves, which is about half of them, are raised here for a couple months, and then they're sold to local hobby farms for their own use.
Okay.
We actually have a calf that's way younger than these ones, if you want to see.
Sure. Yeah, sounds good.
So we've got a pretty fresh calf here right now. This is one of the newest ones.
Oh my goodness. So cute.
Before producing milk, every cow has to have a calf. So with 50 cows, we end up having around 50 calves every year, and average of 1 a week or whatever. And this is one of the newest ones. She's number 1, 2, 3, 4, and was just born 3 days ago. So she's in here learning how to drink from a bottle. And then in the next couple days, we'll move her into a group pen where she'll be raised with some other calves.
What is happening here?
I know. This is the Roomba. No, this is
the giant commercial Roomba?
Exactly.
Yeah?
So this is our newest toy. It is a feed pushing robot.
Okay.
So instead of coming along here with a shovel throughout the day, this thing saves a lot of time and keeps the food right up close to the cows.
Right.
Every half an hour, it pulls out from its little dock and it does this slow, gradual push up of all the feed.
Right.
Because the cows are constantly rooting through it, pushing it back.
Yeah.
So this makes sure that it's nice and close and fresh for them.
That's incredible. Yeah, so robots are, saving some time for you guys.
Tons
for
of
sure,
time,
and
tons
saving
of
your back
efficiency.
from getting broken.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now we just need more robots to make cheese for us. So this is the robot room. This is where milking happens in the 21st century.
Yeah.
And the cows, they just line up voluntarily. That's one of the big advantages of this system over the previous model of milking. We don't have to milk them twice a day or at set times. They just come in whenever they feel like they're ready. And there's a queue of normally 2 or 3 cows ready to get milked. They walk in, they get a little bit of grain, and the robot finds their udders, cleans them off, and hooks them up automatically. And so average milkings per day goes from being just 2 to now being 3 to 5 times a day, depending on where the cow is in her lactation, how much she's producing. So it's actually great for the animals because they can express a lot of their natural behavior and just be milked when they feel like it. And it's great for the farmers because the lifestyle is a little more sustainable. And it's actually great for the bottom line because the cows actually produce more when they're really comfortable, low stress, and are able to express their own behavior. So the average milk production went from about 30 liters a day to 38, sometimes 40 liters a day. So it's a pretty terrific increase in production for animals that are even happier and more calm and less stressed. So it's a really a win-win-win. So that does a sanitary spray when she's done, just so the udder's protected. And then everything does a rinse. So here comes the next girl. So it's a very clever machine. It knows each cow, knows the distinct shape of her udder, and it's hooking her up. You can see the red laser there, which finds the teats.
Yeah.
It also gives us a tremendous amount of data. So you can see on the screen that all 4 quarters are, the last one's being attached. There we go. It shows us what the last time she was in, when she was in, how much milk she produced, how much milk she's producing on this milking. And we get big, we zoom out and see big trends with total milk production per cow, per group, the whole herd overall.
Yeah, so I noticed they have collars on. I guess that's how you recognize who's who.
That's right. Those collars are read by the computer in the robot. And depending on the cow, her age, the stage of her lactation, it'll give her a little bit of grain to supplement her diet. And knows exactly when to milk her or if she's been in too recently and not to milk her.
So your mom and dad started this decades ago. I'm seeing their son working on the farm. Seems like a true family-run business.
Yeah, we've actually got 4 generations, believe it or not, right here on the farm.
Yeah.
My grandma, my wife and kids, my brothers and I.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know what? It's pretty warm out here. I'm feeling a little bit thirsty.
I got the thing for you.
You do?
Yep.
All right. Fresh, grass-fed whole milk.
There you go. This is our milk dispenser.
That is amazing. That's got to be pretty rare.
Yeah, it's awesome. This is the first milk dispenser in Canada. And it really came out of an idea of how do we offer people more value from their experience on the farm? How do we give people a product that you can't get anywhere else?
Yeah.
And this is it. This is a great experience. You can bring your own jug, your own jar, or buy a bottle here from the farm and just reuse it.
That's awesome.
Cut down tons of packaging.
Yeah.
Get a farm fresh, delicious, really nutritious beverage right from where it's produced.
That's awesome. Sweet. Well, can I give it a try?
There you go. Have a token.
Okay.
So you just pop it in the top.
Yeah.
And hold your little cup up there, hit start, and then just hit stop again. Bingo.
Nice.
I'm gonna get in on some too.
Okay. Oh, that's good. Cheers. Well, now we got our milk. Should we go make some cheese?
Let's do it.
All right. Okay, so after the cows, right? You get some milk from the cows. It gets pumped into here. This was milk.
This is where the magic happens,
Okay.
as they say.
Yeah.
So we got 1,400 liters of milk in here today.
1,400.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
And it's raw, so it has not been pasteurized.
Okay.
We pasteurize about half our cheeses.
Yeah.
Raclette's a raw cheese.
Nice.
We age it long enough to be able to make it with raw milk, so we get those extra nice aromatic
Yeah. Oh, I love the rock
flavor qualities in it.
Yeah.
So what we've done with this is warm it up
Yeah.
to
I can
ideal.
feel the heat. There's some heat coming
That's
off
right.
of this for sure.
So we
Yeah.
just need to give it some heat to allow the bacteria to develop, and we add the right bacteria that we want.
Okay.
So it's a very specific kind of bouquet of bacteria.
So it's several different kinds.
That's right, and it's a trade secret.
Is rennet one of the bacteria, or is rennet something else?
Rennet is a coagulant.
Okay.
So that's going to be added when the bacteria have done their job, they've multiplied,
Yeah.
they double every 20 minutes, so they multiply really rapidly.
Right.
And they acidify the cheese.
Okay.
They actually start to break it down
Yeah.
and ferment it. So
Yeah.
they acidify the milk, and then we add the rennet, and we stop the stirring, and we let it sit and coagulate. So
Okay.
that's when the milk turns to cheese.
Yeah.
And we got a huge, solid mass of cheese.
Yeah.
After it's finished coagulating, we put in our wired knives or
Yeah.
harps.
Yeah.
Those rotate through very gently.
Yeah.
And they cut it over the course of about 7-8 minutes
Yeah.
into little tiny pieces this size.
Feta cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what it looks like. So those are curds.
Right.
And the smaller the curd, the harder the cheese.
Okay.
So those little curds are going to give us a nice firm texture when it's pressed into the raclette.
Yeah.
A lot of moisture is expelled.
Okay.
We heat it up some more, and that actually helps to kill the bacteria because we want them to stop doing their job
Right.
after a while.
Otherwise, it'll just keep
Yeah.
going, right?
So that
Yeah.
slows them down.
Okay.
And then we do the really magical part of weighing it off into the molds
Right.
to get our final shape.
That's what I get to do, right?
That's right.
All right. Should we do it?
Let's do it.
Okay. I've got my hose.
You've got your hose.
Yes.
The cheese is ready to be weighed off to go into the molds.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is lift up this vat. It's on an elevator so that we don't have to shovel it all
You were saying
out.
this is the only elevator vat in Canada.
That we know of. That's,
you know of.
That's totally true. We got it from Switzerland, custom made for
Yeah.
us. And it saves so much work because we don't have to shovel it out manually.
Yeah.
And we don't have to leave it up high permanently, which would be really tough to work with.
Right.
So we can just lift it up when we need to drain it out.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so we'll get it going, and we'll weigh it up, and then we'll open the valve and let it roar.
Okay. I'm ready. Just let me know when, okay?
I will.
Okay.
Takes a few minutes to go.
Now, I'm ready. No? Okay. I can feel it. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How am I doing?
These are looking really good. You're hired. So what we've got going is we're aiming for 6.75 kilos per wheel. And we're just keeping them really consistent so that we get as even a product as possible. Then once we've got all of the cheese onto the table, the whey all drains off, we're gonna put weights on them, and then they'll really get their final shape. Looks awesome.
Now what do I do?
Keep going backwards.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, that's probably good.
That one's a little bit full.
Yeah, that's fine, because that is actually right, because we're gonna go over this twice.
Oh, we are, okay.
Well, we go back and forth, so the ones on the end we do double.
Oh, okay.
So that was perfect.
Gotcha.
Okay, so we finished weighing off. We're gonna take a look at how these turned out. So we'll flip it over. That looks good. We got some great shape on that.
Yeah.
So that's the final shape of the cheese. It's established.
Yeah.
So I don't need to put the weight back on.
Right.
But I'll just put on the board to keep it firm.
So generally that weight sits on there for?
Just about 3-4 hours.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, so 12 hours, that's how long they sat there for, basically overnight, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's how long it takes for the curd to just separate from the whey, all of the rest of the whey to run off.
Yeah.
So the next morning, after 12 hours of draining on the table, we've got a really nicely formed, firm, hard cheese.
Okay.
And it looks like this.
All right. And so this is a brine.
This is a brine.
What is in this solution?
So this is just salt and water.
Okay.
And the cheese sits in here, and it spends about 48 hours, 2 days in here,
full days.
to become adequately salted.
Okay.
And
so that's all that's happening here is we're getting salt into the cheese.
Yeah, that does a few things.
Yeah.
It slows down or almost stops the acidification, the bacteria that are multiplying in
Right.
the cheese.
Yeah.
So that we get a more stable cheese.
Okay.
And it adds flavor to the cheese, because otherwise it would taste kind of tangy and plain.
Yeah.
So the salt just helps it taste like cheese.
Okay.
And it gives it a longer shelf life, because of course saltier things last longer. Mm-hmm. So you can see them in here. They're floating.
Yeah.
There's
They are.
tons of brine in here.
Yeah.
And there's a total of 25 wheels in here.
Okay.
So that
You're
was,
calling these square things wheels?
I call them wheels just because that's what cheeses are called, but they're squares.
You guys are pretty primitive around here, I get it. Square wheels.
Wheels somehow just sound sexier than bricks.
Yes, they do.
But, so we call them wheels.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's 25 in here, which is what I got from yesterday's 1,500 liters that I processed.
1,500 liters of milk
Yeah.
is all in this bin right now.
That's right, yeah.
Wow.
So we process about 14,000 liters a week right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Now, when we were walking in here, I noticed a separate brining bath with look kind of like brie, am I right?
That's right,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay, so
Yeah,
that's what's happening here?
Absolutely. Those brie are just finishing their own much shorter brining process.
Yeah.
And then they're going to drain, and the brine will just drain off and dry on these racks.
Yeah.
Then they're flipped a number of times.
Okay.
Until a nice fuzzy white mold develops on them.
Yeah, so we're at different stages here. That's fresh out of the brine.
That's yesterday. This is 3 days ago.
Okay, and that's also 3 days ago?
That's right.
Yeah.
And
then
then
now I can see the mold growing on here.
And that's only a full week.
Okay, so a week.
Yeah, and in about another 3 to 4 days, those will be ready to go.
Okay, wow. Okay, so they get packaged up and shipped off to the warehouse from there, and
Yep.
they'll continue to ripen.
They'll continue to ripen.
Yeah.
The proteins will break down as the enzymes work, and you
Yeah.
get a really nice, soft, creamy interior to the cheese.
Cool. That's really, really, really interesting. I love seeing it at the different stages
Yeah, it's
here.
cool to see the progression.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the ripening room, and this is where the raclette grows up.
Yeah.
So we're gonna smear it, and this is really a tradition that came over from Europe, where monks would smear cheese in caves, like ancient caves, and the whole
Like the Roquefort, for example.
Totally.
Yeah.
The whole theory behind it was that there was like the right temperature, the right humidity in these caves,
Yeah.
but hard to control mold.
Yeah.
So the smearing is what actually knocks back the mold.
Okay.
So it keeps the mold from growing, and then you get this really beautiful orange rind developing slowly over on the cheese.
So we're adding bacteria to the cheese in order to prevent the mold from growing.
Yeah, in a
Okay.
way, it creates a symbiotic relationship where
Yeah.
the mold doesn't want to grow. Bacteria are super healthy.
Yeah.
There's some yeast that are growing.
Yeah.
And it produces this really incredible aromatic and colorful rind on the outside of the cheese.
Very cool.
So this is the solution.
Yeah.
This is nice and orange. There's a bit of annatto in there as well.
There's yeast in there, annatto,
And some nice beneficial bacteria called B. linens.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's going to provide the right environment for the bacteria to grow. Just a little bit basic.
Yeah.
And that'll kick back any other rogue mold that might want to grow on there as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna take each cheese individually.
Yeah.
We're gonna smear the top like that, covering all the surfaces.
So it doesn't take much.
Doesn't take much. It's just a little bit over time. And
Yeah.
over the course of doing this every other day for a month,
Yeah.
we're gonna get that really nice rind development.
Every other day for a month, so it
That's
lives
right.
here for 30 days or so.
Yeah. Till we get a nice rind and just the right salt level.
And is that something you kind of play by ear, or do you test it?
That's
or?
right, we test it.
Okay.
We sample each batch before packaging it just to
Right.
make sure that it's developed enough.
Because sometimes it might take a day longer,
That's
day
right.
shorter. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
So that one's done.
Yeah.
Now jump
Should
in
I do
here.
this
You
one?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Smear the top of that one. I'll do this one.
Okay. It's a race. I won! I won!
No. There we go. All right, last step. We put them on the bottom,
Okay.
and you can stick yours right there.
Yeah, this guy too, right?
That one goes there. Then we'll stick this rack on top of that,
Okay.
and keeps going.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because we got to do all those. Awesome. Okay. So, after a hard day on the farm, I kind of gotten a taste of what it's like. There's definitely a lot going on here.
Yeah, there is.
Looks like we get to maybe taste some of the stuff we're working on today. I'm looking at some raclette, some brie, which we saw in the ripening
That's right.
room, and we also saw some of the little Qualicum spice there as well,
Yeah,
didn't we?
it
They
was
were-
drying there
They were
in the
drying.
room.
Yeah.
Yeah, cheese board is a great way to finish off any day.
Yeah.
Especially in the summer. So this is a nice little presentation here.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of everything. And, you know, building a cheese platter for me is about playing with textures and flavors, right? We've got some fruit, we've got a little bit of pickled carrots. I saw you threw on some hazelnuts, right? We got the dried figs. It's just, it's a way to play, right? Yeah.
I love that about cheese boards. There aren't that many rules. You can mix and match. I always try and go for contrast, so very contrasting colors and textures and flavors. So we've got fresh fruit, dried fruit, crunchy, creamy, that kind of thing. Those delicious contrasts really make it stand out.
I'm going to get right into
Yeah,
it here.
get into it.
A little bit of the pickled veg. Love that raclette. Delicious stuff. So you know what? Playing with all these different cheeses, I think that next month's episode is going to be Little Qualicum recipes. How's that sound?
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, maybe you can send me home with some cheese and I'll get playing.
We can make it happen.
All right. Thanks for being with us, and see you next time.
Country